This is Koh Lanta. Perhaps not the Koh Lanta I wanted, but it is the one the weather gave me. You see, part of the appeal of coming to any tropical island is the notion that the sky will be blue, the sun ripping hot, and there will be girly drinks aplenty to sip and cool you down after you've burnt yourself senseless. I'll admit that that's why I came to this island to begin with. My ninth in Thailand, and one that I, along with many travelers making their way through the well-transited Andaman Sea, have heard so much about. The question then becomes, if you come to a place for a specific reason, and said reason becomes unachievable, how can you make the best of it? If I came here specifically to mindlessly tan and sloth in a place known for miles of beautiful beaches, how much will the rainy, dreary, London-like overcast setting influence my experience? Koh Lanta is situated in the southern tip of Thailand's Krabi province, within earshot of Koh Phi Phi Don and Koh Phi Phi Leh. You may know the latter from the extraordinarily underrated DiCaprio film, The Beach. Depending on the time of year, ferries that cross to here from the mainland can be few and far between, so it's important to note that I am here in mid-October, the very tail end of an otherwise long off-season. In fact, I'm only a couple of weeks out from the start of the high-season ferry schedule that opens up dozens of more speedboat routes to Koh Lanta from neighboring islands and ports. In case you were wondering, that season runs from very late October to late April, which explains why this island is so sleepy. But more on that later. The best way to get around this place, like it is on so many Thai islands, is by scooter. Not much of a shocker there. However, Koh Lanta is unexpectedly hilly and the roads can get busy, so if you're a novice on two wheels, stick to getting around in a charmingly rattling Tuk Tuk. Most of the action and things you want to see run lengthwise down the 18 miles of the island's western shore. As you make your way down the 42, 45, and Horizon Road, you'll come up on popular spots like Nui Beach, this Robinson Crusoe-inspired treehouse joint with an epic view, the Diamond Cliff restaurant, and the desolate, ravenous monkey-infested Bamboo Beach all the way at the bottom, which if not for the gloomy weather, would probably seem a lot more impressive. And that's the issue right there. I've taken a gamble by coming here this time of year, and I'm starting to understand why I'm very much alone on that wager. Even the local business owners have told me that while most of Thailand opens up and sunny conditions kick in beginning in November, the monsoon season won't release its stranglehold this far south until mid-December. And don't get me wrong, there is an appeal to the wet conditions, but not if it's all damn day with not even an accidental ray of light shining through. So what am I left with? For now, steady droplets of rain, in between long spells of dull skies, and a suddenly very cozy resort. But hey, here's to looking at the bright side of things. You know, I gotta say, there's always a silver lining, right? The silver lining in this scenario would be there's no one in this resort. You get to enjoy the beach and all the rain and all the overcast that comes with it, pretty much without interruption and without having to deal with crowds. For the most part, it's just been really hazy here in the southern part of Thailand, so if you really, really enjoy your privacy, come in October. You may have already known this, but Muay Thai is undoubtedly the king of all sports in Thailand. To gloss over its significance in Thai culture is to say that you might have been in the country, but never understood it. Kinda like every single vapid travel vlogger you see on YouTube. Even if you consider yourself a pacifist, hate the notion of contact sports, or mistakenly believe this martial art to be nothing but crude violence, witnessing Muay Thai firsthand separates the enlightened from the tourists.
I started with 8 years before. I have training with my father. Then I fight maybe 9 9 years old.
9 years old.
Yeah, if I have to 21 in Bangkok,
Wow.
but not one fight me, then I stop by myself.
In Thailand's southern islands, few places can match the landmark that is the Klong Dao Stadium, a place of legend in the martial arts scene. A venue that not only hosts some of the rawest prize fights the sport has to offer, but also trains and conditions Thailand's finest Muay Thai fighters, ranging from youth to top-tier professionals. Kiti is a domestic icon in the surprisingly tight-knit community. Having fought over 350 bouts, he's now over 15 years into his career as a top-level trainer and mentor to the newer generations of Muay Thai. I join him at the stadium to get an inside look into what the sport means to the community, as well as watch some guys that could lay me out in a heartbeat go about their training. People in Koh Lanta, they fight Muay Thai?
They like to sing, fighting, and they come to training with us for Muay Thai.
Right, okay.
Style.
Is Muay Thai boxing important for the youth, the kids in Koh Lanta?
Before I have not learned Muay Thai. I have fighting a lot in my friend in school. But when I learn Muay Thai, I come. Then I know how to, but I don't do for myself or hit them.
Right.
Because we learn from Muay Thai, then we know style. They cannot fight. We have stop. We come. Before I have fighting a lot.
So it brings you peace and it also prevents fights.
Yeah. Before I have Muay Thai, but I really angry and get hit them a lot. But when I learn Muay Thai, but really calm.
This is better for your anger.
Yeah, better. Yeah.
'Another day, another morning shower dousing Koh Lanta. The forecast seems rather dubious, as heavy cloud cover will cloak Krabi's islands all day, once again. But I refuse to wallow in this sleepy resort. I've traveled way too far, and my curiosity is too vast. So I'm off. This time, by my favorite method of transport, old reliable Tuk Tuk. Perhaps it's the breeze that engulfs me as I contemplate the roads and lives I whisk by, or the incessant screech of the motorcycle engine that somehow dissipates in my mind because I know I'm somewhere far. A passenger through someplace wild and unfamiliar. But the joy that is riding a Tuk Tuk means that I'm somewhere I love being. Somewhere in Southeast Asia. "30 minutes away from my resort on Long Beach is Koh Lanta Old Town. Now, it's not like an ancient town. In fact, it's only about a bit over 100 years old. And come to think of it, it's not actually a town either. More like a tiny strip of waterfront road with a few older buildings on each side. What makes it interesting is that it's sort of stuck in yesteryear. And moreover, a Chinese yesteryear because that's who settled this village all those years ago. The town carefully retains the feel and pace of its origins as a sleepy fishing village. And though fishing has mostly been replaced by tourism, you still get that sense that life here is simple. Walking amidst the souvenir shops and in through the restaurants carefully built over stilts so as to cheat the tide, you find the appreciation for the Koh Lanta Old Town that may not be apparent on paper. You see, It's a contrast found here from the sometimes repetitious nature of most Thai islands. That no-holds-barred fun mixed with beaches and debauchery that truthfully, I love. Which gives greater meaning to a village that's more concerned about its past than appeasing the guests of its future. My prayers have been answered. After weeks of misfortune in Thailand and a few days on this island, the sun has finally decided to show face. And just in the nick of time too, because today is my last day here. I know I was being whiny, but come on. Look at how much more perfect this place is when that tropical sun beams down on that soft sand. How the blue water pops, and everything is more postcardy. I came here for this, damn it. That's like going to McDonald's and them telling you they ran out of burgers. Sorry, buddy, only fries up in here. I walk out my resort and stroll down Long Beach, hoping to do a whole lot of nothing while consuming many fruity drinks. I stop by Koh Lanta, a little bungalow village resort that reminds me of a summer camp just on an exotic beach. Oh, and with drinks. Just like summer camp. Okay, so I don't mean to sound super first worldy with these problems, even though they probably will come off very first worldy, but I'm just really happy that there's finally a sunny day. It just makes everything pop more, makes everything nicer. And if you're wondering about this fruity drink, it's a Muay Thai. And there is absolutely nothing emasculating about having a delicious fruity drink in the appropriate location. Now, if you're in a bar in Philadelphia somewhere and you're ordering this, well, then it's a little questionable. Oh yeah. So that was Koh Lanta. Not the Koh Lanta I thought I wanted, but the one I'm glad I actually got. It's reasonably simple to assume that most islands we visit for sun and some R&R have no further depth to them, that they are as shallow as the waters that border them. And perhaps that theory is true for many islands out there, but it is far from applicable here. My time on Koh Lanta was defined by a natural impasse that forced me to find a new purpose elsewhere. Through the people, by way of routes and passages, both old and new. It's through these divergent streams that I found out that Koh Lanta is way more than just another pretty stretch of Thai sand. Though admittedly, its fullest expression will always be under an unobstructed sky.